Wait, what happened? You pressing buttons down there, Lyle? There we go. We'll do that.
I did.
We'll do that. I think, unless I did, I could have done it too.
I
Hey, it's been bitter cold out here, so I got something to show you. Hold on.
Okay.
We got little hoodies. Check these out.
Ain't that special?
Wait. The best is yet to come. You ready?
Uh-huh. Go, Don.
Can you see that?
I can. That's awesome, man.
I figured I'd show it off. She was so happy when we put this on here. It was ridiculous. Anyways, I'm not big on dog clothing, but the wife says it's so darn cold she ordered some. I says I get to pick one, and that's the one I got to pick. So,
well, there you go.
The other one says I love my bed, my mama, and that's all. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Can't win.
I don't know how cold it is up there, but it was -6 here the other day.
It got down to -8. That was the coldest. Wind chill right around. It was like just under -30. It was like -28 at one point. Yeah. I stayed in. We didn't have any snow, but you know who got snow?
James Dockery.
Oh yeah, and the South.
Yeah. Yeah, Jeremy DeFore got some snow. I'm pretty sure that Laura's in love with snow, so he may have to move north.
Her and the kids were having a blast in the snow. So I think that means that they're going to outvote Jeremy. He's going to have to move up to like Wisconsin or Michigan or something like that.
Yeah, I think so too.
He's welcome up here. That's for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah, no kidding. And he'll enjoy the snow. He may complain about it. Next thing you know, he'll have his big butt out there ice fishing.
I know. He might even like it too. You know, speaking of ice fishing, I know I sold my electronics, but I had an idea. Come spring, I'm going to get probably outfitted. What I'm going to do is I'm going to buy a shuttle for my for one of my Garmins that I have on my boat because they're removable, right?
Right.
And I'm going to use that next year out on the ice. So I pretty much have everything else I need. It's just this year was kind of and last year had a lot of stuff going on, and my knees can't take it, but that don't mean I can't hit a pond here and there. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
is that TV too loud?
I can hear it a little bit, but
let me turn it off. It's Corey with the Flatty Daddies.
Oh, okay. Corey's good people. I've had Corey on my show, folks. If you haven't checked out his channel, it's Flatty Daddies here on YouTube. It's good stuff. He's good people. He's probably one of the nicest guys in the world. I remember he was on my show for the first time. His first time he ever went live on YouTube. He was a little bit nervous, but he did spectacular. He's been on a lot of shows since then.
Yeah.
He's been putting out videos again. So Corey's good folk, 100%.
On his pontoon, which tells me there might be something wrong with his other boat.
Well, I actually I didn't message him, but I commented on one of his videos. I'm like, congrats on a new pontoon boat. He says he's had it for a while. You know, he's a younger guy, so he started having kids and stuff, and sometimes it just makes sense to go that route.
I got to tell you, he's got some videos out with his wife and them boys, and they just have a ball.
They do. Who doesn't have a ball? Out fishing with your family. 100%.
He had a video I watched of his a while ago. He had 4 in a boat at the same time.
Nice.
Big
we got to remind everybody of that too. You know, if you got family, kids, or whatever, take them fishing with you. Don't waste that time. Use it wisely and do it doing stuff you love. You're gonna the next generation. We need more fishermen, obviously. Also, you know, brings you closer with your spouse and stuff, or girlfriend if you have that. So
that's right, and kids, especially the kids.
100%.
These kids need to be taught that what a fishing rod and reel is compared to doing this all the time.
Mm-hmm. That's I had a guest on the show. Oh my goodness, I forgot his name. He said if the kids got a fishing pole in their hand, they don't have a phone in their hand.
That's right. 100%.
There's Mr. Winner, Jeremy from Creole Catfishing. He told me Dockery was giving him hell all week. So,
well, you know, we're going to start calling him the snowman instead of the bus driver.
This is true. It's the snowplow driver. There he goes, moving everybody out of his way.
Would like to remind everybody that Jeremy has a new guide service open. And if you're looking for a trip down south, where it's normally nice and warm, that would be who I would want to choose.
I heard a rumor. Now, this is a rumor. Jeremy will have to confirm this, that he's going to supply all the adult beverages you can consume for the outing.
And shrimp?
And shrimp, yep, and lobster tail, all that stuff. All included in the price of admission.
You might want to check with him first, folks.
Yeah, please confirm. I cannot confirm nor deny. What do you say hello to? Say hello to everybody in chat.
Let's do it, buddy.
All right, I see channel supporter 205 Wild Action in the house. How you doing, my friend? There's the ladies over at Benoit Fishing Outdoors. They were out fishing during the tournament in their ice shanty. They were having a hard time of it, but it still looked fun. I'm not going to lie. That's part of the reason why I'm thinking about getting back into ice fishing. There's my buddy Bugman. He's a channel supporter. What's up, Buggy? Buggy was live for quite some time this morning. He had Chad on there. Chad's on his way to the ice bowl that he's fishing?
I believe so, yes.
The ice bowl. Hopefully he made it there safe. I know he was pretty close when I had to leave the chat. So Crappie Day Darren in the house. There's the Snowman, Creole Catfishing. Dead Sea Pirates Fishing. How you doing? Greg Burgess. What's up, my friend? There's our buddy Jersey. There's Joe Buck 66. Good to see you, Joe Buck. He is a channel supporter. Thank you for your support. There's my buddy Lance McCougai, who's even further north than I am, but he makes the best of it. There's Mike Urban, M1-6. I'm not quite sure, Mike. I'm gonna have to ask you what that means. There's my buddy Nubby fishing in the house. How you doing, Nubby? River Rat 3030. There's Ernest. He's back out fishing after some health concerns. I'm glad to see that, definitely. There's Schmieder the Cedars, and there's a new one in there that's Wade Life. What's going on, Wade? Welcome to the chat. We appreciate you very much. If you guys haven't hit the thumbs up yet, why don't you do that? This way you don't have to worry about it later on in the show.
That is correct, and you can subscribe. Would be a great help to us to grow the channel, and if you feel like it, you can also join in the link below.
100%. There should be a link. I know on PCs there's a link. I also included the link in the description to join, so go in there and check that out. So
that's awesome.
So what have you been up to in the last week, Lyle?
At -6, not a lot. I'm just saying.
I'd go out. I mean, it was even cold. My little buddy heater that I'm using in the garage to kind of take the chill off in there when I'm in there was not even working. Not one bit. So I was making runs back and forth. I'd go out in the garage, pick a project that I could work on in like increments, and I started doing that. So I'm still organizing my bench. I ordered a bunch of parts. You know those parts bins that you can hang on pegboard? I ordered some more of those. I broke out the label maker. I labeled all of them real nice.
I'm so disappointed.
Why is that?
You didn't call me to let me help you order that stuff.
I'm going to show you something here in a minute. Remember, we were going to start doing I'm springing this on Lyle, so he didn't know I was going to do that today. But thank you, Joe Buck. He's been a member for 25 months. Heck yeah.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate it so much.
He says, I'm ready for 70-degree weather. So
me too.
So, yeah, I've been out there doing a bunch of stuff. I did a little ordering. I went through some more tackle that I go through. I have a habit of, at least with my plastics, I will leave the empty bags or leave one in the bag if the bag isn't labeled correctly. So when I go to reorder in the spring, so I reordered some more plastics. I reordered some new plastics. I started working on putting that third battery in the trolling motor finally. So that's a project I'm in the middle of. So I've been keeping busy, trying to keep my mind off of stuff, and it definitely helps. But
absolutely. No jig pouring, though, right?
No jig pouring. You know, if I'm jig pouring, I'd be out there for longer than I'd like to, and I'm not moving around. So it'd have been cold in that garage.
No, I'm sure it would. Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't get any jig pouring, but I'm ready to go. I ordered some hooks the week before last to restock. I ordered some newer ones. I know that you know, I like the Eagle Claw jig hooks, but you know they're thin hooks, thin wire hooks. And that being said, I think in transport that 90-degree bend gets knocked off a little bit.
Maybe so.
that could be it, unless there's a QA problem at the factory, but I'm not going to say that because I don't know. So they're kind of hard to fit in my production molds. But the Mustad ones, they're a little thicker gauge, and the 90 degrees bend up at the top right at the eye is pretty much dead on. So I ordered a bunch more of those, and they'll do just fine. They're a little stronger than I need. So there's our bud. Oh, that's Bugman. I think I saw. Did I see Dan Thompson in here? I want to make sure I say hello to Dan Thompson. I thought I saw his name roll by. If not, and you are here. Hello, Dan. How you doing, bud? So yeah, that was my experience with those hooks. I know that Barlow's has a sale. I think it's 25% off on Victory hooks. You ever use Victory hooks, Lyle?
I have, and they're high quality, very, very good stuff.
I know they're high price, that's for sure. That's why I never bought them.
Yeah. But Barlow's has them at a decent price.
What kind of temperatures are you having today? Did your cold spell break, Lyle? Because everybody's
35 today, but it's going down really low, close to zero tonight. And then, Mark, believe it or not, we're to be in the high 40s and 50 next week.
You know what? This would be my dream winter, end to winter, right?
Yes, I agree.
It would be 32 and colder up until the end of February 28th, correct? And then on the first day of the next month or the 29th of February, it would warm up and be dry for 10 days. And this way I don't have to deal with too many muddy paws, but that's not going to happen.
Right.
That whole spring is a battle over here. Let's say hello to LG Bass. What's going on, Tom? How you doing? He says he's listening while entertaining Chadwick. That could mean a lot of things. There's our
I'm going to leave that. I have a comment I could make, but I will just leave that alone at this time.
Same here. Greg Burgess in the house. What's going on, Greg? How are you doing? Schmieder, the Cedars. I think I said hello, but I'm going to make sure I don't miss them. Let's see what else is going on in chat.
Drew Peacock says, hi, Mark and Lyle, watching on the big screen.
How you doing, Drew? What's going on? Creole says they ended up with 4 inches of snow. I tried to convince Laura into having them make a snowman on video, but I guess he all out refused. So
what a guy. But yet he'll cook online.
He will. Maybe if we got enough snow, maybe I'll do a snow angel for y'all. I'll post a short up.
I think that Creole would have made a perfect snow angel.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. But, it's totally up to him. I wouldn't want to influence his decision on anything like that.
100%.
Unless I got a chance.
Hey, there's Chris from Hooks and Hammocks. What's going on, Chris? How you doing? Drew says that Lyle is my spirit animal. I don't know what that means.
I'm not sure either.
There's our buddy Ryan from Set Hooks and Crossing Eyes. All right, Lyle, remember we did the show on tackle storage?
Yes.
Or just storage ideas. And I ordered from Amazon some sealable Tupperware type, not brand name, but some cheap knockoff brand name plastic containers to keep all the bags of plastics that I have, right?
Mm-hmm.
And those cracked really quick, so I won't recommend them again. But what I did do is I came across something out of all places on Facebook, an ad for, and it's these plastic containers. Check these out.
Need a full screen.
All right, let me get full screen here. I'll put that on there. Slowly out. These from a company called LIV Fishing. Now, these are pretty nice. They stack the bags in there. They got a handle. They got a zipper that undoes, and they got magnets to hold it. And man, oh man, do they hold a lot of plastic, Wow. Look at all that.
Oh, yeah, that's a lot.
So I got 2 of these about full to the top almost. I know they got a special going on. I think it's buy 4, get 1 free, something like that. Get 2 free or whatever. They even got a place on the top to label it if you so choose. But these are pretty good. Hopefully these will hold up a little better. Hopefully the condensation will stay out of them. I keep all my plastics, whether it was in those Tupperware containers or these, in my boat cooler compartment, because I don't use the boat cooler in my boat. I use it for overflow like that, so that works. Hopefully those will work out well. But yeah, 100%. I kind of like that. So put a lot of plastics in there, and hopefully it'll hold up pretty good and keep them organized. So yeah, that's what I was going through when I was refilling my supply of plastics, which consisted of a lot of monkey milk, let me tell you.
There's a great question right there, Mark.
Dead Sea Pirates, I use 1/64 ounce ones. I have a mold that I pour them with. Number 10 hooks. They're a little small, but they definitely get the job done. I'm in the process of modifying the mold to fit size 8 hooks in them. I think that'll work pretty good. I poured a couple and let it overflow a little bit, so I'm going to test them out here soon. But yeah, also I think they're called darter head jigs.
Yes.
Right? Am I right? From
yes.
Trout Magnet. Those work pretty good. Only reason why I know that is because Justin from Kayak Catfishing uses the heck out of those.
Right.
So I had some of them. You know, I had ordered a couple Trout Magnet kits. So I had ordered a couple kits of those a long time ago. So I had some of those laying around the garage, and I was using those until I got some from Dave over at Double Hook Angling. If you want, you can give him contact him, and he'll sell you as many as you want, if I'm not mistaken.
I bet he would. Dave's got it going on pretty good over there.
He does. I'm just Chris over at Hooks and Hammocks threw me off with a comment there. We're not going to read that one, Chris. That was funny though. Parker Pursuit says, toss one of those packets that come in beef jerky. Helps keep the concept. Yeah, that's a great idea, Jerry. He's talking about the silica packs.
Right. I put them in every tackle container I have to keep moisture out. And more than one.
And I'm sure the smell of jerky ain't going to put the fish off either. So,
no, it attracts me real well, though.
That's 100%, almost as much as shrimp here.
I got to tell you, Mark, I had something the other day that I found I like better than jerky. Now, I know that's hard to believe. One of the things.
Is it bacon? Because I like bacon better than jerky.
Well, I like bacon pretty well too, but no. A guy gave me a taste of some stuff, and I thought it was deer summer sausage. And it wasn't. It was deer bologna.
Deer bologna.
Oh, man. I'm telling you right now, it was amazing.
I'd like to try that. I've had like beef bacon I didn't care for too much, but I like beef bologna. I don't see why, if you don't cut it with some fat, why deer bologna wouldn't be just as good. I imagine.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, it was the tastiest. It beat. I've had some really good summer sausage. Deer summer sausage is better than beef, in my opinion, for what it's worth. Of course, it's mixed with pork, so how can you go wrong? You know, but this stuff was simply unbelievable.
All right. This is something that Betty Jean told me to do one day with some summer sausage that I had left over. Take it, you run it through a grinder, right? You get a coarse grind on it, then mix it with some cream cheese, and it makes a heck of a dip for crackers.
Heck yeah. Well, Betty, she seems to be on board with about anything like that. So,
Jerry, I'm coming to see you in the spring. Remember, buddy, save a little of that for me to taste when I get down there.
It's really, really good. This I had was amazing. I couldn't believe it.
Guerrero, welcome. I didn't see Chad's name pop up, but I'm sure he's listening with Tom. What's going on, Chad? That means that he made it there safe. So let's see what our buddy Danny Stone has to say. He says, to all of our Southern friends, Creole, that love to tell us how warm it is, welcome to our world.
That's right, man. I am so looking forward to those 40 and 50-degree days coming. It's been hovering around 0 or below for over a week. It's just crazy.
Dead Sea Pirate, she's asking a question. I imagine it's pertaining to the jigs I use for those Berkley Gulp 1-inch minnows. They're not sickle hooks. I've yet to see sickle hooks in that size. Doesn't mean they don't exist, but I just got the regular jig hooks for those, which work fine. So no complaints.
The sickle hooks only go down so far, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's number 8. I'm not sure
if they go down
to 6.
Well, here's the deal with the mold I have, the production mold. The wire, all right. If you guys have never poured a jig mold, basically, you pour in the top, lead goes down, fills the cavity around the hook. You open it up, you let it out. Well, that cavity around the hook is usually a tight tolerance because you don't want the lead to pour past there. So a larger hook, a lot of times, will have a heavier wire gauge. And if you want to go with a little bigger hook, even going from a number 10 to an 8, the wire gauge changes in most hooks. I've only been able to find one hook that the gauge does not change in the wire. The gauge and the wire does not change between a 10 and 8. And the only problem is the neck, I'm going to call it the neck, which is the top of the 90-degree bend where the eye is on the hook, is a tad bit longer. So I need to get a Dremel out and extend a little further where that eye is on that hook in order to use those number 8s. And that's something that's on the list to do. So,
well, I was just going to say, I have a Dremel that looks like a pencil, takes itty bitty and stones and carbide bits. And I modify mine all the time to make them fit different things. And I'll tell you about one that I've got modified one of these days that so far so good. But it's not for panfish, so we won't get into that tonight.
As far as where the hook comes down, the actual shank of the hook, I'm sure you could probably get in there with like a file, like a triangle file, right?
Yep.
That would work. But as far as getting around the eye and stuff, you got to mess with that. So I figure I have 10 cavities in this one, so I can afford to mess with 2 or 3 of them. If I can get the first one to work right, there's no reason why I can't do half the mold. This way I can keep doing the 10s and have the 8s on there as well too. So that's actually the plan. It's your plan.
And every one of those molds, Mark, they're not all created equal. Some of them will have little things that need to be taken out to make the hook eye fit in there right. Some of them are perfect, but they're not all perfect. So sometimes you gotta if you decide to try to modify one, be prepared to lose one, because you can screw one up pretty quick if you're not real careful.
I'm fortunate enough to have that production mold, so all 10 of the cavities are the same. So if I mess one up, I still got 9 left. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So
it's just my opinion. I do not like the molds that have multi-sizes on them.
Mm-hmm.
I would prefer to buy all of my molds as production molds. I like them that way a whole lot better.
There's a premium cost to production molds too. I'm learning.
Yes.
It can have the same amount of cavities, but if the every one of the cavities is the same, for some reason they want a piece of the action, because I know you're making them to sell, which I'm not. I just want to get them poured and done and get them out the way rather
That's
than
right. Get it out of the way. Do 500 or 600 of them and call it a day.
Yep. I have a standard mold for my walleye jigs. It's like 1/8 through 1/2 ounce, 8 cavities, and I just poured 2 weights at a time, or two different weights at a time, which isn't too bad. But I don't go through as many walleye jigs as I do, crappie jigs and panfish jigs and stuff. So
Right.
Ryan says next couple of weeks we got some 40s coming. I can't wait, except for the muddy paws. There's our buddy John from Small Water. What's going on, John? How are you doing?
I have decided about the muddy paws that you have to keep a old towel by the door and teach them to hold their paw up so you can wipe every one of them off.
Oh, I don't think Danny. I know Danny would appreciate the hoodie that I got my dog. Danny, go to the beginning of the show and check that out. I think you'll like that, buddy. And come back after you look at it. Chad, how you doing, bud? I didn't ignore you. At least not on purpose. I missed you. Man, he's so sensitive.
That's from all that driving.
Yeah, that'll do it. It inflames a certain area of his nether region.
I was thinking cranial, but whatever.
Market Pursuit says, I think Creo needs to go make a snow angel, even though it looks more like an upside down turtle.
Well, what can we do on here tonight to get him to do that?
I don't know.
Live.
I don't know.
Any suggestions in chat?
We can triple dog dare him.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Danny says, Mark sent me some sickle hooks 2 Christmases ago. I will use anything else on skipjack now. Lyle even made me some jigs with sickle hooks. Thanks, guys. You're very welcome.
Absolutely. There's times when sickle hooks work the very best, and other times when regular jade style hooks work better for me. It depends on how small of a hook I'm trying to use. If I'm trying to use a teeny tiny hook, like for tying flies, and I've got some down to number 28, which are, you can't hardly see them if you don't look. And they're more for decoration than anything else, but you're not going to get a sickle hook down that far, or even probably past 6, 8, somewhere along in there. They just don't make them down real small.
I keep trying to figure out. I like them better, but I don't think I could prove that they work better, to be honest. I know I've heard a lot of people talk about them and say that they don't care for them as much as they do the standard hooks, but it's all personal preference.
Tom says, Mark, I do not want to hear about his nether regions.
At least not when he's sitting right next to you. It makes you feel kind of uncomfortable, doesn't it, Tom?
Kind of? Oh, man. That's horrible.
There's a tip from Ryan. He says, old tile stays on the back door floor when it's muddy season. Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. Well, Gidget's got feet the size of mine,
We got a stack of old, like hotel type towels that we use. We use them quite a bit.
Yeah.
Lay them out on the floor, but these dogs are they're getting better. I'm not going to say they're crazy. So.
Well, they all get better, but I just got her where she comes in the door and she sits and I wipe her paws off, and that's that.
Jan says, why are you thinking of my nether regions? You're always talking about them. It's hard to get them off of my brain. Jesus.
Oh my God.
It scarred me for life.
And there's a new member there. Twitch is in chat. I'm not sure I know anything about that. I've never seen him before. But welcome.
Let's see what Jerry says about sickle hooks. I think the sickle hooks definitely perform better on skipjack due to their bony mouth. That could very well be.
Could be. Could very well be. There's some days when I think that they hook up really good, and other days when I think, no, maybe not. But, it depends on what you like, what you get used to. And just because one works one day don't mean it won't work the next, or vice versa.
Bugman's talking about Chad's region again. He says, never is what I say.
Yeah, I'm thinking he's right about that.
Tweet says he's got his rods ready to go. Good deal. That's another thing I need to do. I need to start. I know you on Catfish Weekly, you had Josh. He was servicing his reel and then he re-spooled it. I saw Chad was re-spooling a lot of line. Like he actually catches fish on those rods and uses that line up, but he was doing it nonetheless.
He was tying rigs and stuff, yeah.
So that's on my list to do too when this weather's kind of crappy. So I'm gonna replace all of my panfish gear and crappie gear with 6-pound. I'm gonna do a little more long line trolling for crappie this year. So I would need to make sure all the lines are the same, weight rating and diameter. So
yep. That's correct. This is the perfect time of year to get all your stuff ready to go because it's the end of January. We're only looking at another month, and most of the ice will be gone. Now, I'm not saying it's all going to be gone, but by the time March rolls around, usually there's a lot of stuff going on in the fishing world.
I agree 100%. March around here, river breaks free usually sometime in March. The chain of lakes will still be slushy, to say the least. Remember I sent you those pictures last year when I was out there?
Yes.
And they're just full of slush, which isn't too bad. Every now and then you'll find like a flat spot of ice, but you can pretty much fish around them. And a lot of times fish are underneath those spots, but that's another story. Getting to them is a totally different animal. But the river will break free. Fishing will be a little hard, but you can always chase channel cats, which is a good thing. Once the water temps start going up, I'll start fishing the channels on the river, and getting back out onto the chain and back out onto Rock Cut State Park. And I'm definitely going up for some more of them monster bluegills up on Mendota this year, 100%.
Oh, yeah. They're giants. Dog and I outdoors.
Let's see. Are you talking about trolling or are you going to use planer boards for crappie mark? Since I can only use three rods. All right. This is the proper way of long line trolling from all the tournament guys and the professionals, right? What they do is they'll buy 3 different length rods for each side of the boat. So they'll buy like 2 14-foot rods for the outside. They'll buy like a 12-foot or a 10-foot rod for the second rod from the outside, and the inside rods they'll go with like a 6 to a 7-footer, and that's how they've been long line trolling, and they troll way back behind the boat. Now I do have some of them small planer boards, Ryan, that I can use, and also because it's shallower water here than in other places, I would probably use those, or I would use weighted cigar floats like a planer for behind the boat. My rule of thumb is 2/3 the distance is how deep the jig's going to run at 0.8 miles an hour. So if I have 7 or 8 feet of line underneath one of those weighted cigar floats and I'm pulling at 0.8 miles an hour, I'm technically, what does that put me? 5 to 6 feet deep in the water.
Right.
That's my rule of thumb. So I've been doing that a lot. You cut that down in half, you go a little shallower. I also got I have a picture of a graph that shows how deep the baits will run at certain speeds, at certain weights. So I kind of been trying to use that. So that's what I've been doing lately the few times I've been out there. Been listening a lot what Betty and Brandon have been telling me. A couple other people I know that do, and I've been kind of reading up on that, but that's usually the way to go. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. Now, there was a comment here asking about what, let's see, any recommendations on circle hook style jig heads? I've never seen a circle hook. Have you seen circle hook jig heads?
No. I'm not saying they don't make them. I've not seen
Unless he meant sickle hook, and anything with a sickle hook will work pretty well. There's a lot of good brands out there. I'm kind of stocking up for the spring. I might sell a few just to cover my costs. So I'll let you guys know. It's not something I'm going to turn into a full-time business, but I can cover some new molds or something for the year. We may do something like that. So just keep keep your eye on the live streams and such. So let me ask chat this. Once the weather gets nicer, where's the first place you want to fish, and what kind of fish do you want to fish for there? Let us know in chat, and we can talk about it a little bit. I'm pretty curious. While you guys are telling me that, I'm going to say there's James Bailey in the house. What's going on, Jamie? How are you? He's joined us. I don't know if I said hello to Greg, but hello, Greg. How you doing, buddy? Yeah, I think I did.
Well, I know what kind I'm going to be looking for.
Bass?
Bluegill. Smart.
Oh, sorry. I just can't help myself.
You've been hanging around Josh and Chad and Dockery too long.
For a long time. Yeah, that's
yeah,
the problem.
too long.
Mm.
You know, when you go out fishing and using jigs and stuff, I can't help it if the bluegill don't bite and the bass do. I can't help that. But from now on, you guys ain't never going to see one.
I was going to say, why are you sending them pictures of your bass?
Because they say I don't catch no fish. Well, I'm catching kind of fish.
You know, they would respect you more if you ate those bass, Lyle.
Well, you know, a wise man told me once that every bass that you eat is one less that's going to eat all the bluegill and crappie.
This is true.
I agree. Not that they're that tasty, but to be quite honest, Mark, they're not that bad.
I have opinions on bass. Bass is edible. Smallmouth bass is delicious out of a river. Other than that, all the bass that I catch around here, the largemouth, are usually out of ponds. Plain and simple. Look at this. Dead Sea Pirate says, I seen Hooker's Terminal Tackle had some circle hook jig heads. Apparently, they're big in the steelhead fishing community. Interesting. I wonder what. I'd like to check that out. All right, let's see where people. Twitch says he's going after catfish and striper. Very cool.
That is cool.
Hey, there's 922 Crappie Barbecue. How you doing, Bobby? Creeks and creek beds for crappie. Freezer's getting low. I understand. Hey, there's a new name here. There's Tucker. How you doing, buddy? It says Spring Channels on the red. That'd be nice to get up on the Red River.
Careful with Tucker there. Read it.
Yeah, I know. I understand. I probably know who that is too.
Yeah, I'm guessing I do too.
Creole says there's a power plant lake about an hour north of me that I've never fished before. Species, whatever I can catch, 100%.
Yeah. I'm guessing they got snowfish.
Do you need to borrow an auger to drill through the ice there, Creole? Jersey says I use Hooker's Terminal Tackle Mad Cat or 8/8. Absolutely love them. I use them for the last 5 years.
Stop it, Chad.
Parker Pursuit says catfish are as always, but crappie on Lake Kincaid off the rocks. There you go. I'm coming with you, Jerry.
There you go. Tucker says he fishes with Luke Hinges.
Oh.
Luke is a member of the Suns Club, just so you know.
I want to thank Luke for sitting in for me during that week. That was really cool. I haven't heard anything about that thumbnail, but I'm surprised I didn't hear anything. That's just payback for the grumpy old man one he did on his show when we were on.
No kidding. But you know what? It was fun. I enjoyed doing shows. I always enjoyed doing shows with Luke. You know, we was at the Catfish Conference one time, Doc Lang and I, and we'd set up and we drove all day to get there. And we had the show set up. And it was on Friday night, and there was a whole bunch of people in there. It really wasn't open, but there's a bunch of people in there anyhow. And Luke come walking up there, and we was visiting with him, and we was live. And Dieter Milhorn come walking up there, and we got to visiting with both of them. And Doc and I got up and just left them and took off so we could go see what was in the truck. Left them there for about an hour. They took it in stride. They really did.
Is this the comment that Chad, you told him to hush? Chad Fields over at Fields to Water says, Lyle Stokes taught Bill Dance how to bass fish.
Only one of them. He's got a roll. He's on a roll tonight. Tom must have fed him well. Or Michelle, I should say.
Michelle fed him. Creole Catfish says, both you and the horses you rode in on.
Well, I don't know if I'm touched or that's kind of funny, though.
Danny Stone Outdoors. Have y'all seen a video from John? Andy, I'm not quite sure who that is. He fished Powerton Lake in negative 16-degree weather, got a 47-pounder and some 30s, I think. Now, the reason why I brought that to our attention is because I fished Powerton like 3 times now. Powerton's got a warm water discharge area that you can fish from only in the bank, from the bank. Right. And in a winter, it's a pretty hot spot to fish. There's some big blues in there. I've seen big ones come out there. I've been there 3 times, made the mile. I think it's a 1.5 mile walk. If you guys have been there, you'll
it's a long way.
That's a long way to go. And it's always in like 15-degree, like Danny's saying, weather that we end up going down there. So it's been a couple years since I've been down there. I've been down there 3 times, made that walk 3 times in that cold weather 3 times, and got skunked all 3. Everybody around us was catching fish. We just weren't getting on it. So
I know a lot of people that fish Powerton, and they all say the same thing about well, hey, there's Michael Murillo. Welcome, buddy. But I can't walk that far anymore, and I'm not even going to try to. And, you know, it's ridiculous. They got to have a shuttle or let you take 4-wheelers or something down there. That walking 1.5 miles, and if I'm correct, now I might be wrong about this, but isn't that catch and release only?
You know what? I don't know, to be honest with you, Lyle.
Which is fine with me, because who wants to take those big breeders out? But they got them in there now. They got some giants in there.
Yeah, John sent me, hold on a second. I'll share this out. Dead Sea sent me a photo of those circle hook jig heads. Yeah, I guess those are what those are, but yeah, I haven't seen those before.
Welcome, David Smith. Glad to have you in here.
Oh, there we go. Share the screen. My computer's being temperamental today, but here we go. I guess that's where they are.
Well,
oh, I can't get it to zoom in for some reason. But yeah, I guess I was. I haven't seen them, so
I haven't seen those before.
I don't know how you would benefit off of those, but I guess if you really don't want to gut hook a striper, that would be the way to go. Or a steelhead. Steelhead, all the guys I know to fish for steelhead, Lyle, they usually use either bags, netted bagged salmon eggs or glass beads under floats. So, or they'll catch them a lot of times trolling with spoons or crankbaits as well. If they're out on the open water, or vertical jigging them right outside of Milwaukee. I know a couple guys that do that. Actually, I just saw a video of not too long ago, Eric Hatia, I think that's how you say his name. He's a big guide out there. He happens to come across it. So what's going on, Mr. Murillo, Agent Murillo? How you doing?
Dan with Goober Time Guide Services joined us. Welcome, Dan. Good to see you in here, buddy.
Dan's also got a guide service as stated in his username. Dan, where exactly are you located in Creole too? Why don't you guys post the areas you guys guide in? So if people are listening at home on the audio podcast version of that, and that's right, folks, you can download this on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and all the good spots. Lyle uploads them to there. We'll make sure that you guys get a shout out and let the people at home know exactly.
Dan, also makes some wonderful YouTube videos and a lot of how-to stuff.
He's been doing quite a few lately, I think.
Yep.
I know I've seen him on TikTok. Last one I saw his on TikTok. What did I forget? I just saw one of his on TikTok not too long ago. I know he's doing
is it coming or going?
Well, we'll see. It ain't going nowhere. There's too much money on the table.
That's what I thought all along.
Dan says over at Goober Time Guide Service, if you Google that, you'll find him most definitely. He says James River between Richmond, Virginia and Williamsburg, Virginia, as well as some Virginia lakes. So if you guys are out that way and you're looking for a guide, Dan comes highly recommended. He's got that cool Quest pontoon boat. He can fit a bunch of people on there too.
He's also got a kayak.
And he's got a John boat, if I'm not mistaken.
I think he does.
Man, he's trying to catch up to Josh.
Well,
that'd take a while.
Yeah.
Josh has got a marina. Long story.
He does. No water, but a marina.
And I know that Jeremy, he must have stepped away for a second to make some snow angels or a snowman or something.
I hope Laura gets the video camera after him.
He's down in Louisiana. He says, oh, and a whitewater raft for flatheads. Nice.
Hey, yeah, that'd be something.
Bugman says, pontoon is the greatest catfishing boat in the world, in my humble opinion.
I know a lot of people that say the same thing. I just don't like them because you have the ability to take too many people, and when I go fishing, one or two is all I want. Usually one. Hell, that's about all the amount of people who get along with me at one time.
Amen. Me too. Actually, I got a lot of people I plan on taking fishing this year, so I'm looking forward to that. Talked to a bunch of people. Saw a lot of relatives at my father's funeral the other week, and they're all like, how come you never invite me to go fishing? I'm like, I didn't know you wanted to go fishing. All you got to do is tell me. It's all people got to do.
That's it. Oh, man, how to do that?
What did Jeremy say? Jeremy said, oh. David Smith, what's going on, David? He says, Jeremy and Andrew must be in a snowball fight. Hey, Jeremy, do you need a recipe for snow ice cream? You know you can make ice cream with snow. Your kids will love it.
The yellow snow, though, Jeremy, is not lemon flavored. Ask Dockery. He'll tell you.
Bugman says, it doesn't mean you have to take them with on the pontoon boat. I'm good with 2 at the most, but I like the room.
Well, there is advantages to that, but one of the, we used to travel so much, I didn't want to pull one of them around all the time.
Yeah, that's it wouldn't be too bad. Well, all right, the problem with the pontoon boat here on our river, at least as far as I can tell, would be is for most of the year, if we got a strong wind, it's blowing upriver. So that makes it hard enough to troll and anchor and keep the boat, on spot. Doing it in a pontoon boat would make it just a little more difficult. So that's why I think it might be.
Hold the phone.
Uh-oh.
So the next Arctic blast, which apparently isn't far away, does that mean Jeremy's getting more snow?
I don't know. I think he's getting really cold weather down there. I believe it's like at the beginning of February, if I'm not mistaken.
With cold weather comes snow. So we might have a chance at seeing that snow angel.
Joe Buck says, lye banana flavored.
That's funny right there.
We're all picking on. All right, dude. Easy picking on Creel. So, yeah, so that's what I've been up to, doing a bunch of that stuff. I really do like that LIV fish, those LIV fishing plastic bags. I got 2 of them. I didn't need 4 of them. If I had 4 plus the one free one, I would just want to fill them all the more, and I'm not doing that. Now, listen to this, Lyle. As far as putting a 3rd battery in my trolling motor, right now, in the 3rd battery spot for the trolling motor, I have my electronics lithium battery up towards the front. I need to move that all the way to the back of the boat. I need to put up those connector blocks. I forget what they're called, bus bars. I need to install bus bars. I got to install that other battery. I got to rewire stuff to the front. So, yeah, I got my hands full. I kind of was avoiding it until until the off season, which is a good thing, but I think it'll hold up. The reason why I'm going with a third battery is not for speed, it's for trolling. I'm going to get out this spring and go after some coho salmon. I've had in strong wind in the current here on the river, I can get like 3 hours out of 24 volt, 2 out of 24 volts. If I can get a couple more, if I can get another hour and a half or so adding a third battery because it doesn't work as hard, I think it's good. And it's not catfish. It's not pulling boards for catfish, because when you're pulling boards for like not pulling boards, when you're pulling baits for walleye, you're 2 miles an hour, Lyle. So that
I've never ever run batteries down on a trolling motor. Not my 24 volt and not the 36 volt ones we had in that Alumacraft. Never run one down, even on the Mississippi River in heavy current. Never run them down. I don't know why that happens to me, but I know guys that put generators in their boat and battery chargers, or 2 sets of trolling motor batteries. I've never had that issue ever. I don't know why, but I'm not bitching.
Yeah, I had like when I'm on the river pulling flicker shads for walleye, I can get 3 hours out of them in about a 1.5 mile an hour current, I think it was. I kind of timed it kind of half-assed. I kind of put the boat to a stop, and I just let it drift down the river and checked my GPS once it kind of leveled off, and it was like right between 1 and 1.5 miles an hour. So.
Right. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
For our river, that was ripping. That's in the spring. We got a lot more water in there in the spring. So,
but still not any deeper, right?
No, not really. Well, maybe a foot, which does make a difference sometimes. It'll go up.
Yeah, especially if you're on the fish, it'll make a world of difference.
Yeah, and then when we were on Mendota last year, when I was with Jerry H fishing out there, we were trolling for walleye and whatever else was biting. And at 2.5 miles an hour, the battery gave up the ghost after like 3 hours. There was no current, but there was quite the breeze. There was quite the swells, to be honest with you. It's a big lake.
I understand. Right now, Mark, where I'm sitting, it's 28 degrees.
Well, I'm at 20 degrees. That's not that bad.
No, but compared to that -6, that's awesome.
Feels pretty good. I'm just happy my diesel truck didn't have any issues. So,
yeah, John sent me those pictures too. I can see them a lot better, Benz. I can blow them up on my phone. I've never seen them circle hook jig hooks. Now he's got my curiosity up.
I think you need to get a mold and some hooks.
Of course you do.
Get your credit card out.
Would you like me to help me with that?
I can help you with that.
Yeah,
100%.
I thought so. Here's the thing, Mark. If you're using a circle hook type, you don't have to set the hook. So anything that hits it, if they get a hold of the hook, should be caught. Right. That's the thought behind
the theory.
Yeah. I'm probably, if they make them small enough for me, I'm probably going to have to try them.
No, Ryan says, so you'll have 3 24-volt batteries? No. That I'd have all sorts of power that way. I would have 3 12s that are going to add to 36, Ryan. So,
that Lead Time makes a 36-volt one battery to fit your boat.
They do. So does Amped Outdoors. But we'll talk about that later.
I do have my 24-volt battery in the house because it's been so cold. Because they don't take cold well. As what Josh told me. And let's face it, Josh has made a lot of videos on those batteries, so I'm taking him at his word.
You like them. They last a heck of a lot longer. Just keep in mind that once they're done. They'll die on you.
Yep.
Okay.
But they got a big, long warranty on them compared to everything else.
Well, they say you'll get 5,000 cycles out of most of them. At least the last time I looked at them, that's what I was hearing.
He did, and you guys would be fighting over my shit by then.
Well, this is true. I want that battery. That battery's mine, everybody. When I see you in the spring, I'm going to lick the top of that battery just to make it mine.
Oh my God.
Nebby says, I'm going to switch the circle hooks on my saltwater pier rigs. Yeah, there's a lot of the salt. That's actually where circle hooks came with in the catfish world. A lot of the stuff in the catfish world came from the saltwater guys. So
That's right.
So
that is 100% correct. And I'll tell you, someplace else you can pick up a lot of good tips on fishing is walleye guys, especially the ones up on the Great Lakes. Them guys been doing it a long time. They got it going on.
Yeah, well, I'll be the guys up here that go after kings and the coho. Everything I'm reading, the way to do it is put your trolling motor down and use your big motor. I got a troll control in my motor. I can get that. I can drop the lowest RPM down another 500 RPM. I can troll at about 1.7, 2 miles an hour, roughly between there. And you use your trolling motor to steer.
Huh.
So you point it in the right direction, you keep the wheel locked forward, and your trolling motor steers it. So they've gotten pretty good at that because there's a lot of side wind and stuff out there too that you want to be careful of just because of the size of that. And that seems to be a proven method if you don't have a kicker motor, Lyle, which I don't.
Well, I had one on the last boat I had, the last sponsored boat I had, that Lumicraft, and I'm telling you, they're useless when they don't run because we did have some issues with that running. It was the fuel supply going to the motor. But when that thing worked, you never had to worry about trolling motor batteries on the big rivers. Now I'm talking about you just point it up there and let it idle, and you could put it right where you wanted it to be, and you never had to worry about that. You could steer it with the steering wheel. Everything was aces. If I was to buy a new boat today, it would have that exact setup on it with a 10-horse kicker or 9.9, whichever you want to call it. They're basically a 10-horse motor.
The two boats I was looking at that were in stock, the same boat, but the only difference is one had a kicker and one didn't. And I didn't see me using that kicker so much, so I kind of passed on that, saved a little bit.
Where you're at, you really don't need it.
Don't need it.
No.
Don't need it. If I was closer to the big lake, I might, consider it. But
yeah,
other than that, for a couple of trips a year, I'll make do with what I got.
Absolutely. Jeff
What's
Beal.
going on, Aaron? He's obviously been listening. Now, I've never used the power bait Pogie swim shad, but I don't see why it wouldn't work. A lot of the power bait stuff is top notch. I'm a firm believer in them. They work really well. I've never got anything from anything labeled power bait that didn't catch fish. Now, granted, are they going to be Slayer baits? When I say a Slayer bait, ones that work better than anything else, I don't know, but they work for me. If it's got power bait on there, everything from trout bait to the Gulp stuff, it's a confidence bait of mine. So that being said, that's where I'll leave it. There's Jeff Beal. What's going on, Jeff? How you doing, buddy?
Good to see him in chat today. He had a live the other day.
It is. Creel Catfish says, debating on 3 12-volt batteries or a single 36-volt for his new boat from cost and efficiency perspective. Now, Creel, mind you, if I didn't have 2 batteries that were pretty close to new on mine now, I would go with replacing them, but I can't see replacing those 2 batteries with the cost of a single 36-volt lithium at this point. I'll just use them till they're dead, and then I'll replace them. That's the plan. Why replace stuff that works if
there's
if
it's good, it's good.
Don't fix it if it ain't broke. That being said, there's always improving though. So
that is true. And as much as I was skeptical about the ion lithium batteries, it's proven fact they'll last longer. Higher voltage, which means more power, and they charge up quick, or compared to a 3 setup system or 24-volt system. So, with that being said, they are a little more expensive but you can't get but a year warranty at best on regular batteries, and 5 to 10 depending on the company for lithium. So
Yep.
you got to weigh your odds and see what's the best option for you.
Yeah. So, and if you go to a 36-volt battery, you need special battery charger and stuff like that. So, like I said, I wasn't willing to do all that replacement right now when I got a system in place that works.
Absolutely.
So
I got you.
Dog and I Outdoors says, Creel, I went with 312 volts because that's 300 amp hours with a single gel 36 volt is only 100 amp hours. 100 amp hour lithium is a little different than whether it's a gel or a glass mat battery. We'd have to get Josh up here to explain it to us. But you also got to remember that you've got a slow decycle. Your standard batteries, they decharge at a steady rate, where lithium will give you full power until it's done. That's where the longevity comes. Now, don't quote me on that. We got other people we can turn to.
Yeah, Josh is up to speed with all that. Maybe we should get him on here and talk batteries one day.
Yeah, we can do that. Absolutely.
I hate to, because then I'm going to have to listen to it.
What are you laughing about when you read?
Well, no, I didn't. I said I have to listen to him, but yeah. But Josh has got his stuff figured out on electronics and stuff. He's really good at it.
Yeah.
Tom Meadow, welcome.
Ryan over at Setting Hooks and Crossing Eyes says that's his plan too. He wants to get 2 lithiums for his trolling motor, but my originals are still going well. Yeah, why replace it? Wait till they die.
I have to tell you, Mark, if I have to replace the starting motor battery, I'll probably go with the lithium just because of the weight savings.
You got to check your warranty on. You got to check with Mercury. You got a Mercury motor, if I remember correctly, right, Lyle?
I do.
Check with Mercury because only the newer ones are able to use lithium batteries in them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and a lot of older ones, or not all brands, cover it in warranty. That could have changed in the past year since I was looking at it. But I know newer Mercury motors. But there's requirements to the ones you use and stuff. So your results may vary. So you want to do that too. Hey, what's going on, Kevin? How you doing? He says lithium is a game changer. I agree, man.
Well, the weight savings, if nothing else.
Oh yeah.
It's a major deal. The weight savings, the warranty, it's just, if you weigh them out, it's hard. Other than the fact that they cost more, it's hard not to go that way.
We got some comments. What else you got for us, Lyle?
Warm weather's on its way, buddy.
Yeah, can't come soon enough.
Since Kevin is in here, and I had thought about this before the show, but we got to talking about other stuff. For those that have not made their selections for the Golden Whisker Awards, I'm not sure when that date is that is going to be up, but you need to jump on over there and make your selections for the people that you think do the best job, who's in and out every week doing what they're supposed to do on your shows that you're interested in, and make that happen, because that's a big deal to put together all that voting and all the stuff that he does. So let's give him some support on that.
100%. Ryan says, yeah, some motors can't crank with the lithiums. No, don't take this for gospel. I think a lot of it has to do with the charging to do with it. A lot of times if the circuitry on those lithium batteries can't take the charge or stop a charge, that charge has to go somewhere else, and that could cause a problem. Don't quote me on that. So you want to look into it before you use it for starting batteries. Some motors say, yes, no problem, you can use them. So like I said, check your make.
February 1st is the deadline. So jump over there and make that happen.
February 1st will come sooner than you know. And that sounds sweet. As soon as January is done, February is usually kind of bad, but it's 1 month closer to open water fishing. That's for sure.
That's exactly right. Looking forward to all that. Well, let's see. Today's the 22nd, so you only got 9 days,
Get your votes in.
10 days, something like that. So get her done.
Ryan says some sensors can only run certain amounts of amps and certain amounts of volts. And those lithiums can run way too much and throw codes.
There you go.
I know some of them will run 16 volts too, Lyle, so which is good for electronics and front-facing sonar, but not so good for everything else. So, yeah, before you use them for a starting battery, folks, check with the manufacturer, check their website, do a little searching online and see what you can find out. Other than that, that's all I got for today.
I got a question before we leave.
Sure.
Is there going to be a bait shop tomorrow night since the leader of the pack is way out in BFE? And
they don't need Chad. He's just an employee now. Brian B runs that show.
I thought you was going to say Pretty Face, and we all know that's
no,
not
we
true.
all know that.
I hope he has a great time out there with Tom Michelle and wishing the best of luck in the tournament. Chad drove a long way to go out there, and he does a lot of stuff for the community. So good luck, buddy. I hope
good luck, Chad. I'm kind of torn. I want him to win, but can you imagine if he wins what we got to listen to?
Oh, my God. Till next year.
Oh, my God. It's not next year. It'll last forever.
Well,
never going away.
Yeah. Hell, if he places, it might be that bad.
I'm telling you. Good luck, Chad.
Absolutely.
All right.
That's all I got, Mark.
That's all I got, buddy. Everybody stay warm. Creole, go make some of that snow ice cream and snow angels. Go enjoy your weather.
Tell Laura to get video of that snow angel making.
Enjoy that weather, Creole, because we're enjoying your weather as well.
So we are.
We are. Good night, everybody. Have a great one. Bye.